covering the islands of the Bahamas. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news is brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. I'm Keishla Adderley. Thanks for joining us. The window of opportunity may be closing for voter registration. That hint from Prime Minister Hubert Ingram as he gave an idea of when elections may be called. His comments came as he hosted the new Hugh Campbell Champions today. Our Opal Roach has more.
Exactly when will elections be called and when will the House of Assembly be dissolved? Those questions put to Prime Minister the Right Honorable Hubert Ingram once again by reporters.
If I don't, on the 23rd of May, the House will be automatically dissolved by itself, by operation of the Constitution. Thereafter, election must be called within 90 days, 3 months after the 22nd of May. I don't propose to take advantage of that period, the 90 days. So sometime between now and the 23rd of May, the House will be dissolved, okay?
The nation's chief answering a number of questions on various issues after treating the Hugh Campbell basketball champs to lunch at the Atlantis Resort. One of them was about the government's progress in the judicial sector.
The PLP has a distorted ad on the television that goes every 15 minutes. Check the facts. We've now been able to cause serious cases like murder to be set down for trial within 18 months of the charge being laid in court. It's a wonderful progress we've made. Check it. Our objective was 2 years. So we are now exceeding our objective.
Meantime, one of the dailies carried a story on the number of people convicted, and questions were raised on the accuracy of that figure.
And if I say you are convicted and it gets overturned by the next court, you were still convicted. And that is... No, let's get that straight. If I said you were convicted and you were in fact convicted, and you go to a higher court and it's overturned, you were still convicted. That won't be a lie. I find this unbelievable. I find it as a nitpicking exercise. If that's the basis of what you put forward the story, that's a great distortion. In fact, a political party involved in a campaign would not put forward such a thing. That's the height of propaganda. The height of propaganda. And unbecoming of a newspaper. Have a good day.
ZNS News.
Now, last week, the country's leader shared some good news with those business owners who suffered major losses as a result of the ongoing roadworks. Prime Minister Ingram announced that a survey will be conducted to identify those enterprises which were adversely impacted by the infrastructural upgrades and determine what type of financial assistance may be offered. The options included rebates on business license and real property taxes and possibly grants similar to those issued in the Jumpstart project. Well, ZNS News took to the streets today to get some feedback from affected persons.
It is something that needs to be done. We appreciate whatever the government can do for us. It's just something needs to be done. The timing is an issue, but no complaints.
Any relief that we have, in lieu of having to pay our business license, in view of having to pay real property tax and other taxes, that will be as good as a check to us.
Well, Chairman of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce, Winston Roll, also weighed in on the proposed financial assistance plan for those businesses which suffered as a result of the infrastructural works. He's of the view that the government survey won't be an easy process, especially where small businesses are concerned.
One of the challenges that a lot of small businesses have is adequate record keeping. And so if the government came to them and said, show us what your revenue stream was prior to the road work, show us what it was during the course of the road work, and then let's see how we can compensate you. I don't think a lot of those businesses are going to be in a position to do that.
Now, Roll said it's difficult to put a dollar value on those losses, but that the recent unemployment figures reflect the impact on business. He added that it will be very difficult for persons who had to shut down to get back in the game.
I'm Just a matter of persons being laid off. A lot of those persons were self-employed persons, and so it's really impacted the whole spirit of entrepreneurship. And for those persons to now get re-engaged, it's going to take some effort for them to get re-engaged in that whole spirit of I want to start my own business and do my own thing.
The government has unveiled a plan to put the Royal Bahamas Defense Force in a better position to guard and protect the country's borders. Part of the plan involves an historic move to increase the manpower of the force. Commodore Roderick Bowe announced Friday that approval has been granted to recruit Defense Force reserves. Their main duty will be to man areas like the Great Bahama Bank. Prime Minister Ingram says it's part of a 5-year plan to better equip and position the Defense Force.
Requirement for the aircraft or craft boats has been neglected. We have sought to catch up over the last 4 years or so. We've got a long way to go. We are putting together a plan to equip the Defense Force fully, beginning in the year 2014. We're going to put a 5-year plan in place. We're going to soon authorize them to access the equipment, the boats, to have them built for them, etc. We're doing the best we can with the limited things we've got.
Now, Prime Minister Ingram and the top brass of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force met with fishermen in Long Island on Friday. The community of about 500 fishermen say their industry and livelihood are under threat as Dominican poachers aren't only fishing in Bahamian waters, but stealing from their traps and initiating violent exchanges on the open water. With the Defense Force base in Ragged Island nearing completion, Prime Minister Ingram talked about how the government plans to add to the Defense Force's fleet.
2 new aircraft for them. We will get some more craft for them, but they need some far bigger craft. This can cost lots of money, etc. But these are things which the Bahamas need, the Bahamas requires. And so in the meantime, all those things we can do to make life easier for you, to protect our fishing waters better, and to ensure that you can make your income without having to compete with these foreigners doing the same thing, we shall do.
More persons can now benefit from the National Insurance Prescription Drug Plan. Today, Prime Minister Ingram signed an order expanding the list of chronic diseases covered under the plan. The new order amends conditions under 2 existing categories of illnesses previously listed and adds 4 new conditions to the overall listing. The new order replaces ischemic heart disease with ischemic disease and replaces major depression with psychiatric disease. New conditions now also include included in the program are benign prostate hypertrophy, epilepsy, sickle cell anemia, thyroid disease. The prescription drug plan was enacted by Parliament in 2009 and entered into effect on the 20th of September 2010. At that time, the diseases covered by the plan included arthritis, asthma, breast cancer, diabetes, glaucoma, high cholesterol, hypertension, ischemic heart disease, major depression, prostate cancer, and psychosis. Some 18,000 people currently receive benefits under this plan.